Look up Carl Perkins, and this is who you'll find.
Well, it's one for the money.
The singer-songwriter that made blue suede shoes all the rage in the 1950s.
My blue suede shoes. Well, you can do anything but lay off my blue suede shoes.
But look a little further, and you'll encounter another Carl Perkins, a Carl Dewey Perkins, whose work in Congress, while not as flashy, improved the lives of millions of Americans. And this is his story. Growing up in the mountains of Kentucky, Carl Perkins saw early on how education changes lives. After graduating college, Perkins became a school teacher, then a lawyer, serving in the Kentucky State Legislature. But with the start of World War II, Perkins enlisted in the Army, fighting in 4 different battles across Europe. After the war, Perkins came home and was elected to Congress in 1948, where he concentrated his work on funding education to fight poverty. After several failed attempts to gain support, it was in 1963 that President Johnson signed the Vocational Education Act, now known as the Perkins-Morris Act. It helped states fund and expand vocational education courses. But Perkins' work didn't stop there. In 1965, he spearheaded 2 key pieces of legislation: the Elementary and Secondary Education Act that helped special needs children and poverty-stricken students, while also authoring the Higher Education Act that set up financial aid and work-study programs for lower-income college students. In 1972, Richard Nixon signed the Higher Education Act of that year, giving birth to the Pell Grant that provides nearly $30 billion in grant aid each year to nearly 8 million students with household incomes below $50,000. In the early 1980s, with new administrations, priorities changed, and Perkins fought hard against budget cuts. Even so, when President Ronald Reagan took office, 1/3 of that administration's budget trimming went toward the very programs this education champion had fought so hard for during his time in office. But Perkins didn't back down, and in 1983 authored 2 bills combined into one that would bring STEM education back to the forefront of America's schools. This gave additional financial assistance and scholarships to post-secondary students seeking a STEM degree, a final, crucial victory before Perkins' death on August 3rd, 1984. Perkins' legacy has led to many things being named in his honor, but none more important than the Carl D. Perkins Vocational Education Act of 1984. It was an act targeted at both making students ready for the workforce and giving more opportunity to adults seeking to turn their lives around with a new technical career. The act has been amended and extended several times to this day, but its mission remains the same: to give an equal opportunity to all people seeking technical education. A guiding principle that shaped our nation's career and technical education system, helping millions of Americans gain the skills to improve their lives no matter the color of their shoes.
My blue suede shoes.